Hey, Fit Mama, Jen Oliver here, your host of the Fit Mama podcast. This is the work in to your workout.
Hey, welcome to episode 14. This is all about excuses. Yes, we all have them, but today we are saying F the excuses. We are saying bye, and I'm going to tell you why and how, all in today's podcast episode. So I'm here to share about a life-changing experience I had when I started to let excuses no longer exist for me. Yup, it is possible. It's a pretty tough way to live, actually, because it calls from you the highest version of yourself to push through when it feels really uncomfortable. That's the thing. The excuses let us get off the hook. The excuses are the safe way. Discomfort is really the way. Discomfort is one of my words for 2018. Yes, I ask myself when I'm taking on a new project or partnering with someone, either short or long term, am I going to continue doing what I'm doing? Am I going to change up what I'm doing? I always ask myself a few questions to distinguish if these are things that are something that I want in my life. And often it's funny, I'll ask myself questions and my body will be the one to respond. I wait for my body to respond. That's the true mind-body connection, is when you can ask yourself something in your mind and your body responds to inform the mind. Because your body is actually your subconscious mind. It is the one that is saying, ooh, it's that gut feeling. No, you shouldn't do that. Oh, wait, you went and did it anyway. And we should have listened to the body, right? You know, we don't love a lot of should-haves and, shitting all over ourselves is not where we're going or what this podcast is about. But there are expectations that we have for ourselves, and that delicate discipline that is needed is one of those things that we can call upon anytime we want. But one of the questions I always ask is this: does this make me uncomfortable? And when I mean uncomfortable, I don't mean in a way that compromises me, my integrity, my family, or anything like that. I mean more specifically, does this XYZ make me feel uncomfortable in a way that's going to help me grow as a person, as a speaker, as a wife, as a mom, as a friend, as an author, as in, should I apply for this big uncomfortable thing? Yes or no? Right? And a lot of the times we apply ourselves to things all over the place, whether it's an actual true application. Hey, I'm going to apply to be this, apply for this job. I'm going to apply for this school. I'm going to apply for this thing where I'm going to take a chance on myself. Does this make me uncomfortable in a way that helps me grow? As you can see, I'm on a mission to get the Love Fit Mama message out there. And I know that it's a game changer and can help people near and far. So that's why I'm doing this podcast. That's why I wrote the book. It's because I know this message, when we start to hear it, when it starts to infiltrate our subconscious mind, we start with that love. We feel love for ourselves. We are greater beings of light and love on this planet. And I am here to spread that message because there is truly science behind it and there is experience behind it, not only myself, but with my clients and with all the Love Fit Mamas all around the world. So it's actually funny, and it's a little known fact about me, but I started a podcast in 2008 called Kaizen with Jen. And this was when I was doing my master's degree at McMaster University in Hamilton, Ontario in Canada. I'm Canadian. And I was studying willpower. I was so excited. I was loving it. I was so curious. I was reading books and articles and journals every day. I was in bliss. I was learning about self-control. I was learning about positive emotion and how it affects exercise and health-related habits. So this was really intriguing to me. I mean, I loved the work I was doing, and I got into research all the time. So I was able just to keep navigating what was really going on. I mean, I literally, even though I didn't love writing, and it's funny because now that I've written a book, I write a blog and I write all the time articles, but writing was not my favorite. And I had to write master's thesis on this concept of willpower and self-control as it related to positive emotions. So this was pretty intensive, a paper, if you can imagine. It was over 100 pages, a Word document. And, it was really cool. I actually remember, though I didn't love writing, as I said, I used to get so fired up. My heart would literally race, my arms, like while I was trying to type at my computer, I would be shaking because it was like putting together a mystery. That's really how it felt. It felt like I was a detective and I was putting together this mystery because it was mysterious for most people. How do I adopt and maintain health behaviors? How do I cultivate healthy habits and continue doing them over time, not drop off and get back into my old habits? So I was putting this together. This was in 2008. So now with 2018, my book is in print. So it's been a long journey, but it's so beautiful because every day and every experience I've had since then has truly informed me. And even from the time I wrote my book, which was almost a year ago, and the time I edited my book, which was over about a 6-month period thereafter, it's amazing how much growth was continuing to happen for me. And that was a lot of because I said, F the excuses. I'm writing a book. I don't have to be 50 to write a book. I don't have to have a PhD to write a book. I don't have to blah, blah, enter whatever excuse here. I just had to do the work, which was the tough part. But I remembered that heart racing joy that I had exploring these connections. It was like, when you watch those mystery movies or those, interesting dramas where you got to kind of put things together, who did it, who killed that person, how did that person get involved? That's how I felt, really cracking the code on this mind-body connection to do with loving your life, feeling good, loving your body, taking care of you, all of those great things. So it was really something that nobody was really talking about back then. And still people are just starting to talk about it. So it was funny because I truly love this, but what ended up getting in my way from continuing the podcast was, again, excuses, reasons why I couldn't do it, reasons why it was hard, reasons why it didn't fit in my life when I was doing other things. But loving your life, enjoying the moments and living that Kaizen with Jen life, where Kaizen means small incremental improvement, small things that add up over time that would compound and grow over time, right? Little bit earlier waking up, a little bit of activity compounds on top of a little more. And you see, the thing is that something compounds in your life. Everything compounds. It's that idea that if we're not making a choice to exercise, we're actually making a choice to not exercise. We're choosing non-exercise. And everything builds on itself over time in a way that we may or may not even notice until years later when we come down with something or get a dis-ease or a discomfort or something plagues us. And that is why lifestyle medicine and the more preventive natural approach is ideal, because there is a toxicity effect with almost everything else, right? Take this drug for the rest of your life, right? There's a toxicity effect that comes into play. And the lifestyle medicine, where it's, work out, take care of your body, use it or lose it, practice puzzles so your brain stays strong. Those kinds of things are what we call lifestyle medicine. And there really are no side effects, right? Those commercials with all the drug side effects for this great drug that's going to save you from this, it might cause, 50 other things. And this applies to our emotions and our excuses also. There's this toxicity effect, right? We can only be so crazy over our emotions until they take hold and our lives are not functioning properly anymore, or at least they are some weird non-lookalike of what we used to be, what we used to believe, right? And our excuses compound. And I saw this firsthand when I hurt my back and it hurt to bend over. So every time my kids had dropped stuff on the ground, I was like, oh gosh, to bend over, that's so much work. It hurts my back. And it started to be something that I had to ask for help with. Okay, can you clean up this area? Yes, kids, babysitter, hubby, whoever, and myself, I would have to get on the floor and do my best, but it always brought on pain. And so because I associated this with pain, and I made this excuse that I couldn't do it, I told myself I couldn't bend over, so it hurt, so it brought pain. And I got into the habit of not picking stuff up and actually not even seeing it after a while because it would trigger such unrest in my body. Like my body used to feel even more pain just thinking about having to bend over. And much to my husband's dismay, it seemed that I couldn't keep our place tidy for anything. And it had everything to do with this fact that I made the excuse that I couldn't bend over. Yes, my back hurt, but there were other ways I could have, bent my legs. And it really just was the pain and the anger that really came in. I mean, I felt incompetent. I felt so regretful that I had hurt myself. If only I hadn't hurt myself. How am I going to take care of these babies with this pain? I felt shame as a trainer, as a knowledgeable person, that I would do this to myself because I pushed myself in that way that I truly didn't believe anyone needed to push themselves to. So I did it to myself. I was just so shameful and I was angry. I was so angry and hateful towards my body because it no longer operated the way it was supposed to, quote unquote, supposed to. Has this ever happened to you? Where things don't look like they were supposed to, and then you got mad and you started feeling like a victim and you were just feeling like, why did this happen to me? This unjust experience. I didn't deserve this. What did I do to deserve this? Just leaves us feeling crappy, right? We get mad, we get angry, we get regretful, we feel shame, we feel resentment, we feel hatred toward our body. I wasn't supposed to look like this. This body wasn't supposed to function this way. This wasn't supposed to look this way, right? What is that supposed to, right? We're going to talk about that probably in a whole nother episode. But this was one of the excuses I had, right? And the emotions and the excuses tied together. Another one was that I was too young. This was one of those things I told myself, and I think my mom was the person to first tell me, oh, you're so young. Oh, no one's going to pay you to tell them about that, right? Even though I knew I could help people in a coaching capacity. She says, really? No one's going to pay you for that. And you're too young. You're too naive. You're inexperienced, right? Do you know the real world? I remember her asking me these questions. And this was, over 10 years ago when she asked me these questions. But even now, I know I still have those elements of internalization. Do I know enough? Right? The excuses about my book. Could I really write a book? What if it's wrong, right? We always have that imposter syndrome. Am I imposter? What if someone figures me out that I really don't know anything, right? I mean, we always have these feelings. But the thing is that I didn't need more experience. I just needed more time to live, right? And maybe that's experience, call that experience, but experience I got, right? We get experience every day, but just by being alive, right? Once I had kids, that's an experience, right? I experienced something that many people did: pregnancy, postpartum, recovering, getting back into exercise, injuring myself, which is a very common route postpartum. So I was able to tap into understanding what really goes on in that place of pain, in that space of shame that I really hadn't experienced up to that point. So that was something that I really, really am grateful for. And, excuses come with sometimes safety and hide, right? I go and hide because you know what? Yeah, maybe I'm not good enough to write a book. So let me go hide, or let me just keep doing what I'm doing, right? But they also come with surprise, right? That element of surprise. You can either go safe or you can go surprise. And the surprise route, in my opinion, is the fact that it's actually most often even better an experience, even better a result than you ever could have imagined. Right? Than you ever could have imagined. I mean, playing it safe, I almost moved back to Hamilton, which is where my parents were living when I first had kids. My husband got a job opportunity in Hamilton, and we really, really looked closely whether we were going to do that. And you know what? We didn't, because it felt like a safe route. It felt like relying on my parents. My parents ended up moving just not even 2 years later across the world to Hong Kong from Canada and have been living there now for 2.5 years. So that was a good decision. Both of us decided it was not a good decision to move. We love Windsor. We loved everything about Windsor, and just being close to family, while it is very, very much a lure, it was not for us at that time. And we knew it. And we made a decision not based on safety, but based on surprise. What would it be like if we stayed here? What would it be like if we could handle raising our kids and creating a community and a village here in Windsor? And it was that way. We live over 3 hours away from the closest family members, and I was very, very much alone in doing a lot of what I did with my babies. But I created a network of friends and connections here that allowed me to feel like I had an outlet and I wasn't all alone. My hubby travels for work as well, and very much he's alone when I'm gone and I'm alone when he's gone. But we've both created a truly loving connection here, and it doesn't feel ever like we're alone, because alone is a choice. Although I do love going to see my family and staying with them and hanging out and all that. So that is even more of a surprise, positive experience now. I mean, it's a choice, right? I did learn many things over the last 10 years, raising the 2 children who are now 6 and 4. Actually, my little one's a few weeks away from being 5 years old. And it's true what they say. I can't believe it. And yes, time flies. I always wanted a third baby or more. I wanted 6 kids before I had kids, but hubby was not on board for that. And I decided to start my business and write a book and take on the FitMamas instead, and then love the ones I did have. Sometimes it feels like I had twins in addition to mine with the business and the book, but I love what I'm doing now. And I truly did it through the question of, does this provide me discomfort? Because having more kids was another option for discomfort. Was one my husband was not buying into. So this was another alternative for me to feel the discomfort for growth and more love for self, for myself. But what I do know, after having debilitating chronic back pain for over 3 years now and healing it myself through the reading, researching, and the practitioners that I used to help me not only heal myself, but also now prevent further injury, is that I now know everything about the deep inner core. I love the core. I live the core. I breathe the deep inner core. And because I rehabbed my own back and understand the inner workings of the deep inner core, I am able to be of service for so many more people than I ever would have been had I just read in a book and not actually experienced all that the Love Fit Mama way is about. And I had to say, F the excuses. The excuses are always going to be there. I write about excuses in my book. I write about excuses on my blog. I talk about excuses in my live videos and everywhere, because it's all about the perspective with which you see things. You know, the glass half full, half empty. Remember that? I was with someone this weekend who said the word okay too many times for my liking. I don't tend to spend a lot of time with people who say okay. So this was someone who was brought around to me, and I didn't have much choice in the matter. But when I asked her how things were going, how her day was, how her night was, and I was starting to ask her a few questions, her response was, okay, Fit Mama, please don't ever say this. Yes, things can go crappy. Things can be bad. If you don't want to say great, if you don't want to say my day was fantastic, then say my day was shit. Say it was a bad day. Say I'm crap. Say that. I 100% love embracing the shit. Okay, I'm cool with that actually. I love when people are real, when they say, it was shit, it was shit, it was shit, my day's shit, right? I'm okay with that. I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling lonely, I'm feeling emotional, whatever. That honesty is in. But okay? What makes it okay? What makes life okay? I can't even imagine what I could describe as okay. Is okay good? Is it great? Is it bad? Is it horrible? Why would you ever want to just be okay? If you are okay, you need to listen up. Get passionate. Wake up, FitMama. This is a topic for another episode, the whole wake up and take it. Get after your life. If you're feeling a little down, I understand. Like I said, shit goes down. But what's going to kick you into gear? You were not, FitMama, you were not born a perfect human to hang out for 100 years or less and be mediocre or just okay. If things aren't great, then admit it. Ask for help. Follow people that can help you. Follow the way they've done it. Talk to them about their strategies. Ask for help and be open to receiving it. These are two different things as well. We'll talk about in another episode also. But if things are great, then admit it. Why isn't your life measuring up? Is it just okay and you want it to be great? What would make it great? What would make it amazing? And why can't you decide today that every day will be amazing? You have that choice, and it's a beautiful one to have. Not everyone on this planet has that choice. It's the lens with which you see the world, FitMama. Remember back to last episode, number 13, where I was talking about that perspective with which you can choose to live out your day? It's a choice every single day to get back into buying into those excuses or to write a new script, an empowering script, one that says, F the excuses. I'm going to make today amazing. So ask yourself these questions. What is it? What makes it okay if it's okay? And what could make it better, even if it's great? Are you not waking up before the kids because you're legit tired after being up all night? Or did you just drink or eat too much and feel like it's too hard to get out of bed? Did you stay up too late? Did you watch a show or a movie too late? Did you end up reading a book too late? Or were you not organized enough for the next day? Did you forget your alarm? Did you push snooze too many times? What was non-motivating? Why didn't you get out of bed when you wanted to or when you thought you wanted to? Do you hate your job? Do you dislike your routine so much that you don't want to get up? These are valuable questions to ask yourself, FitMama, and life is passing you by before your eyes, but you have the power to change it by exiting that excuse train. Exiting it. Just say no. Exit for once and for all. F the excuses. It's so easy to go through the days and weeks telling yourself, well, I don't have enough. I'm not enough. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough willpower. I don't have enough money, not enough influence or opportunity. I don't have enough sleep. I don't have enough support or skills or whatever. But today and going forward, start to notice that every single time you create these not enough excuses, just realize that they're false and you can choose to buy in or you can choose not to buy in, right? You can choose that. Keep reminding yourself that that excuse train does not take you anywhere that you actually want to go. Remember, it doesn't go to the place you want to be. So decide how you want your days to be and then make that happen by giving up those excuses, letting go of what stands in your way. I personally love waking up early and getting my workouts in, and I like to set myself goals. Right now, we're in an 8-week fit hit, and it's a group fit hit where I'm doing it 3 times a week at 6 a.m. live on video with the group in the fit hit, and it's awesome. And it's committed me to 8 weeks, which is fun. It feels good. I get so much energy. What can you do that holds you accountable and gets you excited to bounce out of bed, right? I love waking up before others and having that me time because it sets such a fabulous tone for the day. Is it always easy? No, never actually. But is it worth it? Every single time. For me, being proactive instead of reactive allows me to feel like there is more harmony in my day. I don't spend hours working out, but I do make sure that I move every day because I love the way it makes me feel, especially the way it sets a tone for the rest of the day. I feel strong. I feel energized. I feel I can get more out of life because I'm fit, because I've pushed myself. It feels good when my legs are a little jello-y because I know I've worked them and they're going to carry me for the rest of my life. Whether it's stairs or hills or carrying the kids or pushing the strollers, carting the groceries, waking in the night and moving up and down, getting your kids, traveling, etc. All of that requires us to be fit, right? No matter which way you look at it, life is just easier when you're fit, right? Why are you going to choose another excuse other than being fit? Right? Why? It doesn't have to be supermodel fit. It doesn't have to be lifting hundreds of pounds every day fit. It has to be feeling fucking fabulous fit. That's what it has to be. Wake up, fit mama. Just know that letting go of those excuses will allow you to just embrace what you deserve, right? Which is the best body that you can possibly have, which is a body you love. And you will love it the minute you decide to and start taking really good care of it. So just like you wouldn't want to get on a train going in the wrong direction, making up excuses each day as to why your life isn't the way you want it to be is really doing just that. So decide to mindfully let go of the excuses and decide that you will just do what you want. Choose how you want your life to look. How do you want it to feel and be? You are the only one, Fit Mama, that can make it happen. I am here for you. I am here to be the work in to your workout because the minute you realize these facts, that you have the choice to pick the lens with which you see your life and you can choose it not to just be okay. So my 3 top tips to help you exit this excuse train and say F to the excuses is this. Number 3, develop. Develop a new image in your mind. Let go of what you thought the process would look like or what it needs to look like. Living a life you love in a body you love doesn't have to feel like a sacrifice. It doesn't have to feel like having no life. It doesn't have to feel like having no time for you or your kids or spending hours in the gym. It is not that. Develop, Fit Mama, a new image. Realize it can be whatever you want it to be, right? Okay, whatever you want it to be. It can be easy if you want it to be easy. Just say it's going to be easy, right? Develop a new image for what you want it to be. Number 2, demand. Demand it for yourself. Ask for what you want. Surround yourself with supportive, like-minded people, Fit Mama. If those around you are putting you down, demand respect, demand more. Maybe they're saying, oh, well, last time she said she was going to do that, she never did. It only lasted a week or whatever. So they're just riding it out, right? Demand respect, demand more for yourself, and others will follow suit. Trust that your self-care and personal mind, body, fitness, and health are worth asking for. These are needs and desires of your body and mind, and they are worth asking for. So demand for what you want. And lastly, number 1 is do it. Just do it. Right? Often we have the best intentions, but we don't follow through. We get spiraled back into our excuses. Don't make that an option. Imagine that person, that important person is there every day asking you, hey, did you do it? Hey, how'd it go? Hey, let's do it together, right? Don't make not doing it an option. Start by being grateful for your body as it is today and for all that it has done for you up until now. It's still breathing, beating, and it's holding up so well after all that you've been through together. Then choose to honor it one day at a time by moving it, feeling it, listening to it, and speaking to it with love. And know that is the way, through love. So just do it. So number 3, develop a new image in your mind. Number 2, demand what you want. And number 3, do it. Do it. One of my favorite books that I recommend in the back of my book, The Love FitMama Way, is by Dr. Wayne Dyer. I believe there are a few on that list from him. He is one of my very, very beloved authors who has now passed on from earth, but he is always around. The book I really love is called Excuses Be Gone. This is a huge one. I mean, other ones I love too that are in the back of my book reading list. I do recommend his work. He's known as the father of motivation, and he's really all about self-reliance. And that's what I love. He has a PhD in psychology, and he is really quite a brilliant guy. I've read all his books, and I share so much of his wisdom in my teachings. A lot of the Kaizen with Jen podcasts were based upon his stuff. But since then, I have dug deeper and read more of his books, and I've dug into the things that he talks about, such as meditation, such as all the details he talks about in his book. But one of such things is letting go of excuses, and that's a huge one. So I really recommend reading Excuses Be Gone by Dr. Wayne Dyer if you haven't read that yet, or going back to it. I go back to it every few years. The last time really was probably about 5 years ago though, but I love that book. I'm going to read it again soon. This is the work in to your workout, mama. You know, right? So I am here to provide the work in for you, Fit Mama. And it's all about these mind-body principles that are based on science, because there is this science behind excuses. There is. They keep us safe, right? It's our primal brain going, no, today's not a good day to, peruse the tundra, because you might get eaten by a lion or whatever, right? But the question is, how can you actually get uncomfortable in your life? Because there's no lion coming for you, right? You don't need to live in that fight or flight response, but you can live with a little more discomfort, right? Pushing yourself just that little delicately disciplined way to reach your goals and dreams, because they're realistic and because you deserve that. You deserve it, Fit Mama. Sometimes the safe path is not the path to where you want to end up. So let go of excuses and believe in yourself and know that you deserve it. Know once and for all, say, I deserve it, and move forward and let go of those excuses. That's all for today. I am so grateful. I am so grateful to announce that I have been chosen as a speaker at TEDx Windsor, which is a TEDx independently organized event. And I am so honored to have been chosen for this. So I am doing a TEDx talk, yay, here in Windsor. And I can't wait for that. It's happening March 24th. I will be talking a lot about how this makes me uncomfortable. But it was one of those growth opportunities that truly I knew I wanted to apply myself to, because it was going to help me grow in all the ways I wanted to. So cheers to goals, Fit Mama. I am always setting new ones, and I know that you are too. I will see you online in the Facebook group or wherever you are hanging out. Have a great day. Have a great week. Namaste, Fit Mama.